Friends of the Earth International is an international network of environmental organizations in 74 countries. Friends of the Earth was founded in 1969 as an anti-nuclear group by Robert O. Anderson, who contributed $200,000 in personal funds to launch FOTE with David Brower, Donald Aitken and Jerry Mander after Brower's split with the Sierra Club. FOTE main mission was to lock up and prevent further development of nuclear energy. Their first employee was Amory Lovins, who kicked off FOE in the UK. It became an international network in 1971 with a meeting of representatives from the US, Sweden, the UK and France. For further historical details, see articles on the national FOE organizations. FOEI is assisted by a small secretariat which provides support for the network and its agreed major campaigns. The Executive Committee of elected representatives from national groups set policy and oversee the work of the Secretariat. In 2010, Nigerian activist NNIMM Obasi was elected to serve as chair of Friends of the Earth International. Campaign issues: Friends of the Earth considers environmental issues in their social, political and human rights contexts. Their campaigns stretch beyond the traditional arena of the conservation movement and seek to address the economic and development aspects of sustainability. Originally based largely in North America and Europe, its membership is now heavily weighted toward groups in the developing world. The current campaign priorities of Friends of the Earth internationally are: economic justice and resisting neoliberalism, forests and biodiversity, food sovereignty, climate justice and energy. The campaign priorities are set at the biannual General Meeting of Friends of the Earth International. In addition to the priority campaign areas, Friends of the Earth International has a number of other campaign areas which are active internationally. They include desertification, Antarctica, water, maritime, mining and extractive industries, nuclear power, consumption and intensive meat production. All FOE international campaigns incorporate elements of three core themes, which are protecting human and environmental rights, protecting the planet's disappearing biodiversity, the repayment of ecological debt owed by rich countries to those they have exploited. Friends of the Earth groups. The Friends of the Earth organizations in each country are themselves many-tiered networks reaching from individual activists up to the national pressure group which campaigns for environmentally progressive and sustainable policies. The groups and activists at all levels also carry out educational and research activities. Friends of the Earth groups are required to act independently of party political, religious or other influences. Be open, democratic and non-discriminatory in their internal structures. And be willing to cooperate with other organizations who are working for the same goals. These are conditions of remaining a member of FOEI. The national groups work on the main issues affecting their own country and choose to participate in the international campaigns of FOEI which are relevant to them. In turn, the local campaigners can work on local, national and/or international campaigns. Structure of the network: the member organization in a particular country may name itself Friends of the Earth or an equivalent translated phrase in the national language, for example, Friends of the Earth, Amigos de la Tierra. However, roughly half of the member groups work under their own names, sometimes reflecting an independent origin and subsequent accession to the network, such as Korean Federation for Environmental Movement, Environmental Rights Action and WALHI. Friends of the Earth International is supported by a secretariat based in Amsterdam, and an executive committee known as EXCOM. The EXCOM is elected by all member groups at a general meeting held every 2 years, and it is the EXCOM which employs the Secretariat. At the same general meeting, overall policies and priority activities are agreed. In addition to work which is coordinated at the FOEI level, national member groups are free to carry out their own campaigns and to work bi- or multilaterally as they see fit, as long as this does not go against agreed policy at the international level. Publications. The Meat Atlas is an annual report on the methods and impact of industrial animal agriculture. The publication consists of 27 short essays and visualizes facts about the production and consumption of meat with the help of graphs. The Meat Atlas is jointly published by Friends of the Earth and Heinrich Bar Paragraph LL Foundation. Climate change, Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change 5th Assessment, Working Group 2 Report Friends of the Earth FOE February 2014, 10 Key Findings of the IPCC Working Group 3 Report on Climate Mitigation, Notable Supporters, Mark Gordon, Wyoming State Treasurer, was his state's representative to Friends of the Earth Board in the early 1980s. J.K., frontman of the funk acid jazz group Jamiroquai, is known for donating a part of the profits earned from his album sales to Friends of the Earth and Oxfam, among other things. Dominique Voynet, who ran in the 1995 and 2007 French presidential elections in the Les Verts Party, or Green Party, as a member. Thom Yorke, lead singer of Radiohead, has publicly supported a number of Friends of the Earth campaigns. Support for The Big Ask. Among those present at the launch of Friends of the Earth's climate change campaign The Big Ask were Jude Law, Edith Bowman, Sham Lloyd, Ross Burden, David Cameron, David Miliband, Thom Yorke, Stephen Merchant, Michael Eavis, and Emily Eavis. Member organizations: Friends of the Earth Europe, Brussels, Young Friends of the Earth Europe, Brussels, FR, Les Amis de la Terre France, France, FR, Les Amis de la Terre de Quai Copyright Bec, Canada, Amigos de la Tierra, Spain, Bunfar 1/4 Umwelt und Naturschutz Deutschland, Germany, Environmental Rights Action, FOE Nigeria, Friends of the Earth, England, Wales and Northern Ireland, Birmingham Friends of the Earth, 1. Friends of the Earth Canada, Friends of the Earth Scotland, Friends of the Earth, Green Action, Croatia, Nutra DUHA, Czech Republic, Milu Defensi, Netherlands, Norwegian Society for the Conservation of Nature, Norway, WALHI, Friends of the Earth Australia, Friends of the Earth Malta, Friends of the Earth Middle East, Amici di Terra, Cura Section No, Supervivencia, Amigos de la Tierra PY, Paraguay, Amigos da Terra, Brasil, 2, Magyar Terma Copyrights Copyright Docs Czar Paragraph Etsa Copyright GE/Friends of the Earth Hungary, 3, Priatelia Zem Slovensko, 4, KFEM Korea Federation for Environmental Movements KFEM, Friends of the Earth, Incorporated. B. Laidlaw Environmental Services, Incorporated. Friends of the Earth International, Friends of the Earth Europe, Friends of the Earth Scotland, Les Amis de la Terre France, Les Amis de la Terre de Quai Copyright Bec, Friends of the Earth Malta, Amigos de la Tierra Spain, Friends of the Earth Middle East, Friends of the Earth Ibiza Euro. Article on the French branch of Friends of the Earth Malta Nationalse Ecologistes see Red, Young Friends of the Earth Europe, video clips, Friends of the Earth International YouTube channel, references.